Story time! So, I'm gonna tell a story. It's a story of how I almost killed my dad.
Which time?
You know what? Now that you mentioned it, I didn't kill him a second time, but okay, short, tiny story. I'd watched Home Alone for the first time, and I thought, wow, setting up traps in your own home, that sounds like fun. I want to do that. And so I put up a string in front of my door, because I was like, yeah, cool, now if a thief tries to get in, he's gonna trip. And of course, no thief came into my room, but in fact, my dad did in the middle of the night, and he tripped, and he landed on my Lego castle, and I'm like, what the frick, Dad? You ruined my castle! And then he yelled at me.
You're a horrible child. You were always a horrible child.
Oh, I did.
Also, I thought you were talking about the time that you almost burnt your house down.
Oh.
When you set the thing on fire, and then you tried to put it out, but then it set more stuff on fire.
Look.
I mean, I know he wasn't home, but
he wasn't.
Oscar was a very horrible child. He did some strange things.
You don't know.
And he didn't make a lot of sense.
You weren't there.
And everybody thought he was stupid, but look at him now.
Still stupid. Anyway, this goes back to when I was in elementary school, and we had a Stone Age week where we were going to learn about the way they lived in the Stone Age.
Since you're a Swedish skunk, does that mean that you guys were pretending to be Vikings?
Vikings didn't exist in the Stone Age, Becky.
Well, when did Vikings come along?
Near the Middle Ages.
Moving on.
Moving on. So we had this Stone Age week, and as part of that, one thing we did was we went down to the beach, and at the beach they had flint.
Oscar!
Yes?
I want a churro.
Well, then go eat a churro. And so they showed us a way that the people back in the Stone Age would make tools is that they would take the flint and they would throw it against a hard rock. The flint would shatter and you'd get a bunch of sharp pieces laying around that you could pick up and turn into tools. And so I did. I brought this flint home, threw it on the ground, and nothing happened. But then he realized that, wait, we have a stairway. And the stairway is like sharp because, you know, stairs, they have like an angle. So what I did was that I threw the rock against the stair. It broke. The stairway. There was a big chunk that had now fallen off of the stairway. So, being the brainy child that he was, he took the piece that came off and he simply put it back. And then he continued on with his day, sitting inside doing God knows what. And then all of a sudden outside, I hear a, ah! Oh shit, something happened. I walked near the window, and there's my dad, furious, holding onto the stairway rail as he almost fell backwards, hitting his head on the ground, or the rest of the stairway, potentially. And then I got yelled at like crazy. Do you have any story when you killed someone accidentally almost?
No, I've never accidentally killed someone, because I'm not an idiot.
Well, it's called an accident, not because you're stupid, Becky, but because accidents happen.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because accidents happen,
yes.
Not because you're an idiot.
No. I mean, it could be worse. It could have been like that time where I accidentally shot a guy in the face with an arrow.
Yeah, it could have been like that time.
Yeah.
You know when I accidentally shot someone in the face with an arrow? Never! Because I'm not an idiot! And I know how to use a bow and arrow!
Do you?
Yeah. I went with like my Girl Guides once. It was my favorite part. I didn't get to do it as much as I wanted, though.
For the record, by the way, the arrow I shot was not sharp, and the guy was totally fine. He just bled a bit from his head.
Oh, he bled a bit from his head, huh? I do have a time where, like, we were playing War in my complex, and I fell off the electrical box, because everybody would climb up on the electrical box, and I was laying on there, and then I accidentally rolled too far, and this thing is, like, 6 feet off the ground, and we'd climb up it. So I fell 6 feet, and I cracked my head on the cement around the thing. And I was fine. But I did crack my head, though. I hit, like, this part. I wasn't bleeding or anything, though. I probably had a bit of a concussion, but it was fine.
Helmets for losers.
Well, you're not gonna put a helmet every time you climb up on the top of the thing. We would climb up in there. Look, we would go to the Chevron, which was basically just like a 7-Eleven, and we would buy a slushie and like candy, and then we would go home, and then we would climb up on the box, and then we would eat our candy. Like you don't put a helmet on every time you climb up on the box.
I don't know. Sounds like you should have had a helmet on, honestly.
Sounds like you're a pussy.
Damn. So the person that you accidentally killed was yourself.
Yeah. Now I'm dead, and this is my hell.
Wow.
Thank you, sir, for telling your very one-sided story. I really appreciated that. I had a lot of stuff to add.
Well, Becky, it's not about you. It's about the people listening.
Well, don't I have to be entertained as well? It's your responsibility to make sure that I.
So are we never going to talk about anything we've already talked about? That's like everything, Becky.
Yeah.
Come back. Please. I need you.
I'm gonna go get churros.
Smell you later, everyone. I
won't smell you later because I'll be busy eating my churros, and churros smell perfectly fine. So I won't be smelling anyone else. Just my churros. Only churros.
Bye-bye.